Hello everyone, this is BioPhoenix here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a game with a very ridiculous name, such as Swagman. Ooh. So very intimidating, isn't it? And it was released in 1997, and it was for the PlayStation 1 and the Sega Saturn. But however, the Sega Saturn version was only in Europe. So with that being said, we are taking a look at the PS1 version since it was released in North America and in Europe. And it was developed by Core Design and published by Eidos Interactive. And now we got all of that out of the way, now you're probably wondering, what the fuck is this game about? Now, before I will say anything, let's just take a look at the cover real quick. Alright, now that is some creepy shit right there. Now, if I saw this game in a store when I was a kid, around when this game came out, this would have scared the shit out of me. And just from looking at this, it kind of makes you wonder what this game's actually about, since it doesn't really explain much, except for the fact that there's some creepy fuckhead that is named Swagman or whatever. So, yeah, that's all we can say about for the cover. So let's get down to the plot. Now, you are not using the Swagman in this game. You're actually using two characters named Zack and Hannah, who happen to be children. But the Swagman is the main evil bad guy in this game. Now, what the Swagman does is that he kidnaps a dream fairy, and what that does is not making people wake up from their sleep. So in other words, this is like the video game version of Freddy Krueger. So the two main characters have to stay awake as much as possible while they stop the Swagman from doing this from everyone else in the world. And yeah, the story is kind of oh well, whatever, but I mean, come on, it's pretty fucking funny. And just the fact that they have to name him Swagman just kind of makes it not so serious. Even though this game was released way before that swag shit came out of nowhere, you know, with the swag YOLO motherfucker, yeah! Yeah, I don't know what that is, but seriously though, I don't know what the fuck swag is to begin with, because it's such a stupid ass word. But anyways, this is an action-adventure game. In fact, this game actually reminds me of Zelda in a really weird way. But instead of having hearts, you have Z's. And you still have the inventory where you can carry two items at once. And instead of having a sword, you use a flashlight. I know, that is so badass, right? And most importantly, there is actually some puzzle solving, which is actually pretty nice, I find. But either way though, it does remind me of Zelda in many ways. Now as for the controls in this game, I think they're actually pretty well done. Now I can't find any complaints about the controls since I never ran into any problems with it, but I found it to be easy to get used to, especially if you ever played any type of Zelda type of game, or any other type of over-the-head view type of game like Zelda or Beyond Oasis or whatever other type of game out there. As long as you played any of those, then I think you're going to do fine. So overall, the controls are pretty good. Now as for the graphics in this game, I actually like them myself. Now sure, it's a 2D game on a game system where they're meant to be all 3D and shit, but seriously though, for a 2D game on a PS1, it looks great. And I really do like the 3D effects that they do have in the map. For an example of one would be if you blow up the bed and it goes flying up into the screen. I really do like that type of effect. I think that's really damn cool. And I know this is one thing that's commonly been brought up between other people's videos when they talk about this game, is that the game actually looks like it's something that Tim Burton made, which I can agree, it really does look like that type of thing. Hell, just look at the title screen, he looks almost like Jack Skellington almost, at least it kinda reminds me of it anyway. So overall, I actually do like the graphics myself, and I do consider them to be really good. Now as for the music in this game, well, let me explain something real quick. The way I've been playing this game is through emulation, since I cannot find a copy of this game anywhere, so that's how I've been playing this game throughout most of the time. And the ROM that I'm using with this game doesn't have any music in it, which is really weird. But I am well aware that not all ROMs are made perfectly, so I take it that whoever made the ROM just didn't do it right. But either way though, I have heard the music in this game before, but not while I was playing the game. I just heard it within YouTube soundtracks. But anyways, I just thought I had to explain that because I just thought that was really weird. But either way though, I found the music to be really good for the most part. It sounds really creepy and ambient, which I really like that a lot. I was not expecting a game like this would be having music that would just sound ambient like that. I don't know if it was just me or whatever, but I just think that's pretty damn cool that they have that. So overall, I'd say that the music is really good. It's just unfortunate that I couldn't hear it while I was playing the game. Now one thing that I really gotta say with this game, and you should be prepared for, is that this game is actually really fucking hard. Or at least I think it's really hard, or maybe I just suck at it, but either way though, it's pretty challenging. Now one reason that I find this game to be really hard is that there's a lot of really strong enemies around the first level, such as these ghosts which you can't even kill at all. Now yes, I don't think you can actually kill a ghost with a flashlight there, I mean I understand that, but seriously though, every time you hit them they just disappear for a second and then reappear back up and they start chasing your ass. So dealing with a really pain in the ass enemies at the beginning of the game is pretty frustrating. Same thing goes for this pumpkin boss. I swear to god, this boss like pisses me off so much. Now if you were to buy this game, it would cost around $5 to $15, or at least that's what I've seen from like websites and stuff. Which I say is actually a really good price, but however, this game is pretty hard to come by, or at least around in my area anyway. I have never seen this game in person ever in my life, or at least not yet anyway. But however, I will might try and order it online if I ever want to get myself a copy, since this game is definitely worth picking up. Or maybe I might try and get lucky and find it in the wild, but who knows, it's just one of those really weird, odd title games. Now if I were to rate this game, I'd have to give it a 7 out of 10. I found it to be a pretty unique game with a really wacky concept, but I mean it was actually a lot of fun. Now granted, it's not as like infamous as something like Zelda or memorable, but either way though, I mean I still consider it to be a pretty good game on the PS1. And oddly enough, there's a lot of websites that did take a look at this game, and they gave it to like a lot of low scores just because like the game wasn't as memorable. I mean, I can't really give a game a bad score just because it wasn't as memorable as, yeah, like I said, Zelda or Beyond the Oasis or just any type of game that in that genre, but yet it's still to be a pretty good game. So I don't know, that's just my opinion on that though. Now sure, it is pretty ridiculous since I mean like the game is called Swagman and you have to like collect like fucking bugs and then you're using like 2 kids and there's just a lot of fucking crazy shit in this game that I just really can't explain well. But either way though, I think it's just one of those games that's just meant to be wacky. It's not really meant to be taken seriously, but it's just like a fun little game. So in my opinion, I think this is a game that is worth checking out. Now, I don't know if the Sega Saturn version is like any different, but from what I have heard is that there was like some like technical differences, but I don't know though. Since I don't live in Europe, I don't really know this for a fact, but however, it would be cool to look into that one as well. So, any European gamers out there that have a Sega Saturn and want more games for it, I'd recommend you to go pick this one up someday if you ever see it. But either way though, I personally think it's a pretty good game, and those are my thoughts on it. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and commenting. When boys just stare at you and smile, oh, just girly things. Hee hee.
No, I'm staring at you because I want to fucking eat your heart out. But seriously though, fuck those pictures and fuck swag.